Hey y'all, this is Anya DecoToes. Welcome back. Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I really appreciate it. I do want my channel to reach as many people as possible, so thumbs up and all of that helps me out a lot. So thank you in advance, and let's jump right into the video. Alright, so I was watching a video by Andrea, and she mentions new makeup releases, and I have never used personally a brand called Kaleidos. And then she showed us a palette, and I was like, I just have to buy that. So I went ahead and purchased the Club Nebula palette, which is made in collaboration with Angelica. So I was super excited to get this palette. I did wait quite some time for it to arrive at my house, but I was so excited to get into it, and I did want to share it with all of you guys. So now we're going to jump into the unboxing of this palette, which I did want to show you. I want to show you some initial swatches of a few of the shades, and then we're going to get into creating 3 different looks using this palette. And I think I used every single shade that comes in this palette, so I am super excited, and I will tell you at the end what I think of it. So let's get started. Guys, check out this serious bubble wrapping. I mean, this is like, wow. But I also didn't expect this palette to come in this big of a box. So let's see. All right, so this is the box. That's the top of it, the side of it, or the front of it, and then it also says Kaleidos on the bottom. Super cute. Let's open it up. We have a cute inside, and there we have the palette. This is very thick of a palette. And now let's get to this. This is super cute. And here we go, Club Nebula. Super colorful, some shiny aspects of it. Okay, now the big moment. So it's just a magnetic closure. And there we go. Let's take the protective plastic off. And here it is. So this is what the shades look like. And I do want to swatch just a few of them before I actually use the palette. So I have been super curious about this one. I think that's the #1 that I was so curious about. So let's give this a little swatch. Here is that one. Super reflective, with a nice color shift. Oh my, it turns into a really nice purple too, which I don't think you can see on camera. I can see purple from where I'm sitting, so especially now. Amazing. Next, let's try another shimmery shade. Let's try this one. Oh, there, you can see the purple in the first one now. It actually reflects in the window a lot better. And this one is more of a green lime. All right, let's try maybe 2 more of the shimmer shades. Let's try this dark one. So it definitely looks different in my lamp. It is like this purpley blue color shift. Super beautiful. There you go. And you can see how they are very different from each other, which I love. They go on very smooth and buttery. I have never used Kaleidos makeup, and I am impressed so far. And then as the last shade, let's try this one. Again, amazing color. So beautiful. And now I'm gonna go ahead and just swatch about 4 of the matte shades. And I'm going to start with this one because that's my favorite color. I mean, purples are also my favorite, but I've been really into teals lately. Wow. That is intense and beautiful. second one, I'm probably excited about this one. Well, I'm excited about all of them, but like really though. Wow, how deep and rich is that? There you go. That's those two. Okay, next up, we just need to try this green shade. I mean, really. There's that one. And the last shade we're gonna try is, I'm gonna kind of want to try all of them, but we'll try hopefully as much as we can on the eyes. I'm gonna try this one. By the way, they do all have names. I just haven't been saying them. So these are the 4 matte shades. And these are the 4 shimmer. Some of them are dual chrome. I forgot if all of them are or not. But they sure are beautiful. There you can see that last one over there. Absolutely can't wait to put these on my eyes, which is what you are going to see next. Okay, so this is look number 1 that we are going to be creating. I absolutely love the way this turned out. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm starting with the shade 7 of 9 on this pretty small fluffy brush, and I'm just going to start tapping it in about halfway across the lid. And I'm also blending it outward so that the shade is visible after I layer the other ones on. And I've dipped into it again just to intensify this color. We have the first shade down. And now with a much fluffier brush, the bristles on this one are longer, so it just creates a softer look. And I'm gonna go in the crease on the inner half of the eye. And I did want to mention, I will link the video that I kind of got inspired by. I don't think it's a total replica of the look, but when I saw this, the blues and this green together, I was like, oh my goodness, this looks amazing. So I just had to do this look. And she kind of did the green on the inner crease also. Now I'm gonna go in with that first brush and kind of try to blend the 2 colors together. And I have completely wiped off the color from the fluffier brush, and I just want to make sure that the edge is nicely blended. Now with the deepest blue on this palette called Void, I'm going to use my triangular brush, and I'm going to go right in the outer corner, not as far as the other blue shade, and kind of up to the crease. And I'm just tapping it in because I do want this color to be quite intense. And again, with a clean fluffy brush, I'm going to blend the edges of this color out. I have to admit, I was a little bit intimidating when I first tried these shades. Not really trying really hard to get these right, but when I did try them off camera, I was very intimidated because I'm like, wow, these colors are intense. So I had to watch a lot of other YouTubers use this palette for me to kind of get ideas on how to make this palette work. I do love colors, and this is supposed to be a colorful palette because Angelica is all about colors, and I love colors too. However, I'm not as brave as she is. So, and sometimes I feel like not everybody can wear intense colors. It just doesn't look good on everybody. And also, really intense colors, I feel like, require false lashes most of the time, unless you just have really long and really full natural lashes. But because I don't generally wear false lashes, it's kind of hard for me to pull off a really deep and colorful look a lot of times. But this one I'm loving. And before I finish off the upper lid, I'm actually gonna go with this my new stubby brush with the color Gravity. I don't know, it's that green shade, that kind of like lime green shade. But I will pop this on the lower lash line, or lower lid, about halfway through. I'm going to make it a little more intense. And after wiping that shade off, I went with 7 off 9 and gonna pop this on in the outer half. And I decided to keep the lower lid matte because I do want most of the focus to be on the top lid. Okay, now I took the shade Firefly and I'm gonna pop that in with my sponge applicator on the inner third and up to the crease. I don't want to cover over that green and the lighter blue in the crease and above it. So I'm just going right up to it. This color is so beautiful. And now changing to the color Astro, we're gonna connect the two shades. So going over those dark blues a little bit and connecting with the Firefly. And just back with Firefly just to make the colors blend a little more. And also using this sponge applicator, I'm going to pop the Firefly shade in the inner corner. Now I'm going to pop in some highlight shade above my brow. I'm going to tight line with just the black eyeliner, and I'm going to put mascara on and I'll show you the final result. Alright, so here is the finished result. I am so happy with the way this turned out, and I absolutely cannot wait to get to the next look. So keep on watching. Okay, so on to look number 2. I did want to use some of the reds, but I did want to see if it's possible to create a bit of a softer look with this palette. And indeed, I think this is definitely softer than some of the other looks that I've seen on YouTube, because obviously this palette is super colorful and intense, but you definitely can achieve a more of a soft, colorful look with this. So let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm going back in with my very fluffy brush. It's small though, and I'm going in with the shade Samus, I think, and I'm gonna put that in the crease and blend it upward. Now with the same brush, going in with Red Giant on the outer third of the eye. I'm going to pat it in first just to build up the color a little bit, but then I will end up blending it out a bit. I went ahead and wiped the color off the brush just so that I can get a nice and delicate blend over here. I don't want the top to be too harsh and too dark. Now on this tiny brush with the color Cylon, I think, it is that deep purple shade. I'm just going to pop it in the outer corner, just on the bottom, kind of along the lash line, and then I'll blend it a little bit. Now with my sponge applicator, we're gonna go in with Nebula in the middle. I'll just start tapping it in and then gently going over the other shades, but not all the way to the end. Now with the shade Celestial, we're gonna go in the inner part of the eye, and that's the color that I went in first. And then I decided I want to brighten it up a little more. So after applying this shade, we're going to go in with the shade Nova, which looks like a shimmery white with like purplish greenish flecks in it. And we're going to pop that in there. And we're going to go in with that same shade in the inner corner. Okay, now all that's left is the lower lash line. So we're gonna go in with Red Giant on the outer, about half. And on the inner half, we're gonna start with Samus. And now we're going to top these off with Nebula in the middle and Nova in the inner third. Now I'm just going to even the eyes out because I see that I went in a lot higher on this eye than on this side. So back in with the fluffy brush and the shade Samus, we're just going to kind of build this up here towards the brow. And I am using a very, very gentle touch. And this is it for the colors. I'm gonna finish it off with eyeliner, highlighter under my brow, and mascara, and I'll show you the final result. And here is the finished look number 2. Alright you guys, so this is look number 3. I decided to go with the full-on greens. At this point, I think I've used every single shade in this palette on those 3 looks. So let's get to it. So again, with my very fluffy brush, I'm going in with the shade Nauru into the crease and just blending it outwards. And I'm using a very gentle touch, as gentle as I possibly can, because I do not want this shade to be like super, super dark. Now with the shade Gravity, we're going to use a big, kind of fluffy but also flat brush. And we're gonna stamp that all over the lid. I do want this shade to be very intense, so that's why I am stamping it on. And we're going to do that all the way to the crease. Now going in with the first brush, not adding any more product on it. I'm just going to gently swipe across to blend the 2 shades. Now with my ColourPop little triangular brush, I'm going in with Queen of Blades, and I'm starting with this one, with this brush, because I do want the edge to be nice. I don't want to go too far down, and I'm taking that in almost halfway through the lid. And now I'm switching off to a smaller fluffy brush and just blending these a little bit. There are those 2 or 3 shades. Now we're going to go in with my toe with the shade called You're My Only Hope, and I'm going to stamp that on that lime green shade. This process is always hard because toes are just so much shorter and also fatter than fingers, but the sponge applicator does not always give the same effect, so I felt like I wanted this to be a little more intense, so I'm trying to go in with my toe. And obviously I am not able to get a precise line with my toe or get in the inner corner very much, so I'm going in with a flat brush with that same shade to clean that up. And this is one of the most interesting shades in this palette, because it literally looks like a purple in the pan, but you put it on the lid and it's like, it looks completely different. And it's just so surprising. So I'm just kind of blending it in over the darker green. Now back in with a tiny smidge of Gravity on the very fluffy brush, I'm going to just put that on the edge of these colors. And that's also gonna, I suppose, give me a little bit of the sparkle everywhere else. And just with a tiny bit more of the dark green, I'd want to bring it up a little bit higher to match the other eye. Now back with Gravity on my little stubby brush, we're going to stamp that on the lower lid. about halfway, a little past the halfway mark. And then with Queen of Blades, I'm going to put that on the outer corner, but as close to my eyelashes as I can, to create a very thin line to begin with, because then we're going to blend that out. Alright, and now I'm going to take this tiny brush, but it's got a bit of a fluff to it, and I'm going to blend these two bottom shades out. And now back with You're My Only Hope on the stubby brush, and we are going to again stamp that on the inner half of the lower eyelid. And we're also going to put that same shade in the inner corner. Alright, now I'm going to tight line with a green eyeliner, add some mascara, and I'll meet you back. And here is the finished look number 3. Alright, that is it. I hope you enjoyed the initial unboxing of this beautiful palette, and I hope you enjoyed the 3 looks that I have created with it. I surely enjoyed it. I think with every look I liked it more and more, or I got more and more comfortable using these shades, and I absolutely love it. Like I mentioned before, I do love colors, and playing with this palette was absolutely amazing. So great job, Angelica, you did amazing. I love the palette, and I'm so excited to keep using it. Alright you guys, that would be all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and also comment, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you are notified every time I upload, which again is every Friday. Thank you for those of you who watched the video till the end, and I will see you again next week. Bye.